cieli, laetare alleluia, laetare alleluia.
One California family whose home was ravaged by wildfires was blessed with a sign of hope. Their statues of the Virgin Mary and St. Joseph miraculously survived the blaze. And Peter and Jackie Halpin, they're with us now to tell their story. So thanks so much for joining us. We are so sorry for what your family and so many others in California have gone through. But if you could just take us through what the moment was like to discover these statues that were somehow miraculously untouched by the wildfires.
You want to go ahead and start?
Sure.
Steve located
our son-in-law snuck up the day after the fire, and he took some pictures. So those were the first pictures we saw that really confirmed that our house was gone. And my daughter, his wife, said, "Mom, look at the bottom of the picture." And there was the statue. And I'm not saying it was a miracle, but I'm saying it gave us so much hope that we were still protected and loved. So when I saw that, I texted all the kids. We have 6 children, adult children. And I said, "Hey, we're going to try and get up there tomorrow, and we're just going to surround Our Lady, and we're just going to pray. We're going to pray to God, thanking him for the wonderful years that we had in our home and our safety, and ask him to walk with us in this long journey that's coming." And everybody made it except 2 spouses because they were home with babies. And we did not go to sing. We went to pray. So we said a prayer that our family says. It's a consecration to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. So we said the prayer, and then we generally sing that song a lot after baptisms and weddings and funerals. So then it just came about that we sang the song. We had no idea this was going to become viral or famous. It's a little bit humbling, but we just did it to cling to hope. And sometimes you have to force yourself to be grateful, and we wanted to be grateful. And, in the morning offering that we say, you give everything to God, and we did. So now we've been asked to do that, and we just wanted to say thank you to God, and it's all we can do. That's our hope.
It is so good to have you both on the show, and I the circumstances are what they are. But I just want to say to the audience, I think what happened is people just saw a little slice of reality of your your actual experience in life, and I testify to that, knowing your family a little bit and some of your children over the years, and being part of that community in the past. I think it to me has been just an incredible week to watch, because it's just reality being shown out there, right? It's something real that happened. But I have to ask about something a little more prosaic, which is, technically, wasn't it the case that it was breaking the law to visit your own home at that time?
You would have to bring that up. You would have to bring that up. I have to say that what we did is, since we know the neighborhood, we actually snuck up through some private property. And a few of something like that for me was easy. I had my work boots on and everything else. But half of the other young moms, my daughters-in-laws, and our friend that actually took the video, Joanne, this was probably quite an adventure for them, because we were walking through smoldering debris and collapsed walls and things like that. And so that there was a little bit of excitement involved as far as that goes, getting up to the site. So
it was a little dicey.
It was dicey.
But now it's completely shut down. National Guard with machine guns. So.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I can only imagine what that is like. I so enjoy just this little glimmer of hope that we are seeing, because everything that we see on the news, all of the images that are coming out, have been so difficult to just watch from afar even. What has it been like for you guys just day to day going through this?
Well, I think we're running on adrenaline. We really haven't been sleeping that well, because there's so many things to think about. And we're blessed because all our adult children, we're lucky to have them nearby in the community. And we're one of the lucky ones. Jackie and I are the lucky ones because we have all these connections with this community. And Matt, you know about that. You know, the community down here is really strong. And if it wasn't for that, we'd be in a real difficult situation. But there are many frightened people here now. I've had many experiences as we've been out and about, having to go shopping and had to buy some new clothes because all we had were the clothes on our back when we got out of there. And, we went down, the only thing that we could find open, I think, was a Target. And we looked at each other wandering through the store with a daze on our face. And there were a lot of other people doing the same thing. And we realized we're homeless. I mean, homeless, but we had places to go. So, I mean, we were lucky in that aspect. But it's very, very humbling. Very humbling.
I have to ask too. I mean, it's interesting how, I mean, as opposed to a lot of other folks, you've had some media exposure this week, and in the midst of this tragedy, you end up doing these media hits, and that's an interesting twist for you all. And then a video going viral. It's like a strange mixture of things. So walk us through that a little bit. I mean, you're again, sad circumstances, but there's virality here, and now we're sitting at the end of this week. I can't imagine. I hope it's leading to good.
That is our complete hope. So we did a few interviews, and then we actually talked to our spiritual director, and we said, this is humbling, and it's not us. We're not out there tooting our own horn. And he said, no, you're doing good. If you can do it, and especially for good media outlets, go for it. So we're kind of embracing it. It's weird for us.
Yeah.
But we're trying to do, if this can bring hope to people, and that is what we've heard. We pray for things to be put in front of us that God wants us to do. Here we are.
When we're doing it the hard way, never expected anything like this. It was unintentional. This thing just went viral, but I'm coming across people. I mean, this is embarrassing. I mean, we're becoming celebrities, I mean, everywhere we go, you see people go, that's the couple that was on TV or whatever, and we're just like going, we want to hide. We have been going since it's happened. We've been going to mass every morning. It's St. Andrew's right up in Pasadena, and that parish has gotten very organized to help out people, with whatever they need. And, all the churches in the area, they're the ones, and they're the places to go because they know how to get organized. I've said this before in some of the other interviews we've had. And so they're all coming together to help anyone and everyone that needs help.
But Jackie and Peter, it's all for the right reasons, right? That's why you're getting this exposure, is because you are doing things that go out there and glorify God. So you mentioned the churches, and they're the ones that are helping people. So what can people do? How can they help? What do Californians need at this time?
Well, this is the thing. Everyone has been so generous. There are a lot of locations that they didn't have time to get volunteers. And so there literally are mounds of clothing and shoes. I mean, 7-8 feet tall. And that's no way for people to try to go through it and pick up things that they need. It's I don't know the best word, but it's not a good experience or a fun experience for people to try to go through mounds and mounds of clothes. And so I think as far, and the other thing is many of these people have no place to put it. Mm-hmm. They have no place to go. Yeah. And so, I mean, we had to go rent a couple of suitcases and put our clothes in that. And we're moving around to our kids' houses and some dear friends of ours. Right now, we're at very dear friends of ours' house in Alhambra. And like I said, we're lucky. But it seems to me that it's the uncertainty that's really getting to everybody now. I'm a little disappointed that the commanders, the people on the ground, and I'm not talking about our public servants. We need the gentlemen and women that are out there on the ground to give everybody just a little better idea of when they're going to be able to get to their properties, because the insurance companies are not going to be able to start processing the paperwork until they physically are on the property, and that's part of their protocol. And so a lot of people are getting even more scared and uncertain about the whole thing. We know that there are things up there that they're trying to take care of, but somebody, the guys on the ground up there, we need them to kind of say, okay, this is exactly what's going on, and this is why it's taking so long. Because a lot of us don't feel like we're getting the hardcore direct answers. Okay, we know that they need to make the area safe. We understand that. But they have to remember, it seems like, at least in our neighborhood, really our neighborhood's fine. There are no smoldering. They've shut everything off that needed to be shut off. And I would think that maybe they could start letting people at least get to the locations where everything is under control. Because, you don't want to have this huge mad rush where they say, okay, everybody can come up and go, because there are thousands of people that are waiting to get back to their properties. And so, I wish they would just give us a little bit better information about when that could possibly start to happen.
Well, I hope you both realize what a great example you've been my entire life. Knowing you and your entire family, even well before this, has really impacted my life in a very positive way about what family and community means. And people out there should know that. You've already blessed many people with your example. Do you have anything else you'd like to sort of say? I mean, it sounds like community is a theme of this to our audience before we have to leave today.
Well, yeah, I do. We have a great Altadena and the Pasadena area. Matt, I think you're aware, Jackie and I are, childhood friends, okay? And from South Pasadena. Mm-hmm. So we've been in that area all our lives, and moved up to Altadena 36 years ago. And it's a beautiful community being up here against those mountains. And we're worried that a lot of people aren't going to be able to return because it's such a devastating situation. So we just want to give everybody hope and hang in there. And ask for God's protection, and that's, at this point, I mean, that's all anybody can do. And the community is coming together, but there are people that need places to stay, and so people, I would like to say, some people may have to take some risks and say, hey, I have an extra room available with a bathroom. You may be bringing in a stranger, but try to be as welcoming as you possibly can, because there are a lot of people in need.
Yeah, and we'll definitely keep you and everybody else down there in our prayers. Thank you so much for coming on today.
You're welcome.
And Matthew, what an incredible couple.
Yeah, I think we have to stay on this, because what they're saying about the community being able to return, the story really is just beginning, sadly, for a lot of people. And like he said, this is a place with a long history and a lot of rooted residents. And it certainly would be a shame if, just because of really it'd be moronic idiocy, that it wasn't allowed to rebuild. And so that's something that we should continue to bring to you, the audience, and talk about more.
And what an incredible story of hope.